investment banking.
I'm Christine Ligorio-Chafkin. Welcome to Inc.'s live chat. I'm here with Kickstarter co-founder and CEO Yancey Strickler. I wanted to start out by looking at some milestones. So far in its 5 years of existence, Kickstarter has funded $1 billion in projects. You guys just moved into a beautiful new office in Brooklyn, and I've read that something like $1 million in funding moves through your system every day. What else is new?
Yeah, it's certainly been a busy year, an exciting time for us at Kickstarter. Earlier this year, we did cross $1 billion, having moved through the system. But it's also been a year where we've shipped more improvements to the product, across the board than we really have in quite a long time. There have been significant upgrades to the discovery experience that went out just about a month ago. A lot of great creator tools to help them make their projects happen, and there's some really exciting things coming up very soon. So it's been a year that we've been incredibly focused on our mission, which is to help people bring creative projects to life, and really considering all the ways that we can help people do that.
What kind of projects, for example, thrive today that you might not have expected would be such a trend a few years ago?
We always started with this creative focus, and we were really curious to see where that would go. And so, that's evolved to include like a lot more board games started happening about 2 years ago. Video games, certainly Kickstarter really started off this hardware revolution that's been happening the past 3 or 4 years. And so you're just seeing creative people of every stripe coming together, using Kickstarter as a platform to share their ideas with the public, and then seeing the internet just get really, really excited about them. And something like the Coolest Cooler, which happened about 6 weeks ago, is the largest project in Kickstarter history, raising more than $13 million. So the audience there is huge.
What would you recommend in terms of lessons that folks thinking of posting to Kickstarter could take away from that?
Yeah, the creator behind the Coolest Cooler launched the project once before and had not reached his goal. And he came back with a project that was largely the same. I mean, the video is a little sillier, but it was also just the right moment, I think. I mean, he launched during summer, and there were a lot of people checking out the project. We did a deep data analysis of it and found that something like 1 out of every 5,000 people in Texas backed it, or something like that. I forget the exact number, but something absurd. But certainly, there's an encouraging lesson for all entrepreneurs in that, which is that a failure doesn't mean no in every case. It just means maybe back to the drawing board in some ways. And this is something that we, as an organization, understand very well. My partner and our chairman, Perry Chen, first had the idea for Kickstarter in 2001, and it wasn't until 2009 that the site was able to launch. I got involved in 2005, so from when I got involved, there were still 4 years before there was a living, breathing website. And it wasn't for lack of trying. We just continued to run against obstacles and our own limitations as very green entrepreneurs. But largely through Perry and Charles Adler, also a co-founder of Kickstarter, and their sort of obstinance and refusal to give up on this, the site was actually able to happen. And so, the Coolest Cooler story was one that was familiar to us in the sense of really believing in something and pushing forward on it, and not being willing to accept no for an answer. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs have to go through that, and it's certainly very trying at the time, but I do find it's encouraging to know that others have gone through similar experiences.